Montblanc has a few fragrances that I wear on a regular basis, like the Explorer. One of the newest ones is the Explorer Extreme, which comes on the piggyback of the original Explorer. This one smelled very similar to Credo Ventus. I do like it a lot, actually. This new bottle is also going to be very similar to the original Explorer, with the Extreme being in all black, with sort of a ridge design that looks kind of leathery, but it is rubber this time. While the other one I think was maybe leather. But let's get our nose on it and take a closer look at this 2025 release by Montblanc called Explorer Extreme. I was super excited when I saw this one during my vacation at the duty-free store in Istanbul, I believe it was. Unfortunately, all they had is a 50 milliliter. And at this point, a 50 ml bottle is actually plenty for me. If you, of course, only wear one fragrance and you empty it, then you might want to go with the 100 ml. This 50 ml for me is plenty, since I wouldn't wear it all year long anyway. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's start with the notes listed and go from there. This Montblanc Explorer Extreme has notes of bergamot, vetiver, patchouli, amber, and there's also some leather listed. I have worn this one a few times since I bought it in June, and I did feel then that it was a bit thick for the warmer weather. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any other fragrances with me, so I wore this one a lot during summer. I usually like buying new fragrances when I go on vacation. I try not to bring anything with me on a trip, as a new fragrance for me is a great way to make memories. This way, after the vacation, when I spray the new fragrance, it will remind me of, a fantastic vacation. On the other hand, this can also backfire. If you have a terrible time, it will also remind you of your terrible time. So choose your fragrance wisely if you're gonna bring one on vacation. Ooh, nice wet, heavy sprayer. Right at the beginning of this one, you're going to get a fresh blast of sort of citrusy bergamot. It is right there at the front, and it will remind you of the original Montblanc, no doubt. However, this is going to be a deeper, fuller sort of wave of notes. Quite quickly. I kind of would have actually liked this one to linger a little bit more before it goes towards the heavier notes, but the heavier notes are pretty fast coming out from the bottom, because I do enjoy the original Montblanc a lot. This Extreme is going to be deeper, it's going to be thicker, because it has that patchouli with, its cozy sort of feeling. There's also a slight sense of freshness that sort of is there, but it's no longer from the bergamot. This is going to be probably from some vetiver. It's more of a green sort of freshness, but very soft. This gets deeper quickly in sort of a woody amber with a big dose of patchouli. At this point, it smells nothing like the original. You know what I'm saying? This Montblanc Explorer has the same sort of transformation that Dior has from the Sauvage to the Sauvage Elixir.
Don't you ever say that again.
Now, I'm not saying that Extreme smells like Sauvage Elixir at all, but the same sort of transformation took place from one to the other. This one is still going to have the memory of the original, but it is thicker and bold and quite different. Also, one could wear the original Sauvage all year long, while the Elixir feels better for the cooler days. Same thing with this Explorer. You could wear the original all year long, while this Extreme, it's more for the cooler days. It has a really big personality at first, just like the Elixir does. As for this Explorer, I do get really good longevity. And the projection is not bad, although I thought it would be bigger, given that this is a really sort of heavy, big fragrance. It is nowhere going to be as big as the Sauvage Elixir though. Not at all. Also, the leather note in this one is going to be, let's say I would have loved for it to be a little bit stronger. It is more of an amber sort of patchouli in my opinion. I'd personally wear this one during the cooler days, like I said already. For me, the Extreme is too mature to wear during playtime or casual time. I think it is a little bit too serious also to wear, on a date. but that's just my opinion. Extreme also does have a bit of an old school vibe, but not like the licorice note in the Elixir, which gave the Elixir a bit of an 80s vibe. You know, that is actually a little bit more playful. This one right here is going to be more like a well-groomed gentleman, almost sophisticated. This Montblanc is a business scent, but not necessarily a bossman, but more someone who will get things done with a bit of a classic flair. With all that being said, comparing it to the Elixir, one could think it smells alike. Trust me, they do not smell anything alike. I do think if you like the powerful nature of the Sauvage Elixir, big sort of body, but you thought that the Elixir is a little bit too, playful in sort of an 80s kind of way, then this Montblanc Extreme right here might just be the right one for you. It's a deep amber patchouli scent for cooler days with a classic sort of mature vibe. Really nice, soft, really soft hint of leather. For me, this right here, this Montblanc Extreme, is Montblanc's version of the original Explorer Elixir style. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.